Hi, my name is Susanne Boethius and I'm a researcher at Lund University in Sweden. In this short film I will sum up a presentation that I did at the Nordic Council Research Seminar in 2022 and try to highlight the most important findings. The presentation I did was titled Two Sides of the Same Coin: Abused Women's and Their Networks' Experience of Digital Technology. The topic of the presentation was how everyday technology use are experienced by women abused by men in close relationships and experienced by people from the abused women's social networks. The study is based on interviews with abused women and with persons from the abused women's social networks. The study is part of a larger project named Call the Police, a study of social networks' responses to domestic violence, a research project financed by Forte, the Swedish Research Council for Health, Working Life and Welfare, coordinated from the Department of Sociology at Lund University, where I am affiliated. The issue of technology was not part of the original research plan, but the result of an unexpected finding. We noticed when we started to work with the transcribed interviews that many women and persons from these women's social networks described scenes and situations that involved everyday technology use. This study is based on interviews with 21 Swedish women who had been abused by a former husband, cohabiting partner or boyfriend, all male perpetrators, but also on interviews with 24 contacts from the abused women's social networks, people that knew women that were abused. What we found was that the perpetrators controlled and affected their victims' communications with others, both directly and indirectly, leading to an increased distance between the victims and members of her social networks. The perpetrators not only governed their partner's online contacts, communications and movements, but also influenced the presentation of the victim's online profile and targeted the social network. However, the same technology also provided a way for the women to access support and manage victimization. Technology-facilitated abuse is an important aspect of domestic violence and manifests in many different forms. Perpetrators have been provided with a new area that they can control: their victim's digital life, both during a relationship and post-separation. Our data also suggests that smartphones and social media platforms emerge as important in the early stages of growing recognition of the violence as a crucial tool in the period when a victim is still living with the perpetrator but needs documentation of the violence, and in the aftermath when the woman has left her violent partner. Digital technology is important not only for abused women in domestic violence situations, but also for their friends, families, co-workers, and others. There is a growing body of research focusing on technology-facilitated abuse, and at this moment more empirical evidence is needed about the nature, extent, and consequences of digital abuse in regard to domestic violence. By studying the role of technology, we can learn more on how technology is used as a means of abuse, as a part of abuse, and coercive control. We can also learn what role technology do play and can play for victims and persons from their networks in their search for help and support. Thank you very much for watching this short film, and if you want to know more about my research, please look me up, Susanne Boethius, Lund University. You can Google it. Thank you very much.